Friends, let's discuss about one of the important topic of the chapter of organic chemistry from haloalkane and haloarenes that is actually necessary for the learning the one of the type of basic concept of chemistry, and that is nucleophilic substitution reactions. The concept of nucleophilic reactions are very important in the organic chemistry. Whenever we are going for the different types of reactions, we generally discuss about how the displacement of the group takes place from any other group or by any group. And in the same concept, we are actually talking about the displacement of electrophiles and displacement of nucleophiles. So the displacement of nucleophile and electrophiles, we are taking to today the displacement of nucleophiles. The one of the nucleophiles that is displaced by the another nucleophile. This is the topic contains in our that haloalkane haloarene, where we try to discuss about how haloalkanes involves in the nucleophilic reactions. Simply, before starting the topic, you have to be learn about the concept of nucleophiles. Actually, nucleophiles are the species having very high electronic density, and or you can say must be carry a negative charge. But what is necessary to learn here, whenever the species having negative charge or electronic density, they must have a smaller size. They must have a smaller size. A smaller size species having negative charge and a smaller size species having electronic density actually can act like a nucleophiles. Whenever the size increases, the tendency to act like a nucleophile actually decreases. That is very important to learn here. So whenever we are going for the nucleophilic reactions of haloalkanes, we have to be mentioned that the size of the species having negative charge should be smaller. So let's discuss about the reaction pattern. Actually, the reaction pattern is haloalkane, the carbon family or carbon chain carry positive charge partial, and with respect halogen carry partial negative charge. Whenever the suitable nucleophiles are treated with haloalkanes, that nucleophiles substitute the halogen from the haloalkane, and there is a formation of the product depending upon what type of nucleophile we are having taken. Some common nucleophile what we are using here, that is generally hydroxides, nitrides, cyanides, thiocyanates, hydrides and alkoxides. That is given in your syllabus. One by one, we will try to learn the different examples based on all these nucleophiles what we have learned today. So this is the common method to displacement of the X, means halogen, with the help of a suitable nucleophile with a smaller size to form a suitable product here. But the concept is how this nucleophilic substitution reaction actually carried out. On the basis of the process of combination, the process of mechanism, the nucleophilic reaction basically divided into two categories. On your level, basically divided into two categories. That is, on the basis of molecularity called unimolecular nucleophilic reaction and bimolecular nucleophilic reaction, SN1 and SN2. Let's discuss about the concept of SN1 and SN2 together. So, students, SN1 and SN2 actually stand here a different group of haloalkanes having tendency to react with nucleophile differently. Unimolecular and bimolecular actually stand here for how many number of molecules involved in the rate determination steps. Whenever reaction is carried out, there may be a multiple steps through the reactions. So out of multiple steps, which one is a rate determination step? That it contains one molecule, that is called unimolecular reactions. And if the rate determination step contains two molecules, that is called bimolecular reactions. That is the basic difference between SN1 and SN2. But you have to learn how to decide that there will be only one molecule involved in the rate determination step. Generally, whenever the reaction is carried out in a multiple steps, two or more than two, the step which is slowest determine the kinetics of the reaction. The step which is slowest determine the kinetics of the reaction, that is called rate and speed of the reaction. And that step actually based on the breakdown of the bond. Whenever there is a bond breakdown, that take some little more time comparatively when there is a formation of bond, because the breakdown of bond is always having to go for high stability to low stability condition. So whenever we are going for high stability to low stability, that must be take a little more time to break that bond. But the formation of bond always will be very faster, because the charged species come closer to make a bond some more easily tied. That is called a fast step reaction. That is why in SN1 there is two-step reaction in which the first step is slow and the second step is fast. So first step involving only one molecule, and that is why this is called SN1. In SN2 there is only one step reaction, so no need to determine which one is slow, which one is fast. But in the same first step reaction, there is two different molecules involved in the reaction, that is called SN2. Another thing, what is important here, the formation of intermediate. Students, whenever there is a stable intermediate formed, like carbocation intermediate, like carbonyl intermediate, carbenes intermediate, nitrines intermediate, free radical intermediates, and whatever the intermediate formed during the reaction, if the intermediates are stable, the reaction always proceeds through multiple steps. Because the first step involves for the formation of intermediate stable, carbocation or carbonyl or radicals, whatever. But if there is no any stable intermediate can be formed during the reaction generally proceeds through a one step, like SN2. In SN1, there is stable carbocation intermediate actually formed. Stable carbocation intermediate. In SN2, there is actually unstable intermediates, and that is why the reaction proceeds through a transition state with a single step reaction. But the reactivity order, what we have to learn is, the reactivity order for SN1 is 3 degree carbon, 3 degree halogenes, most give then 2 degree carbon, then 1 degree carbon, then methyl. On the basis of the degree of the carbon of halogenes, 3 degree, 2 degree, 1 degree and methyl, that is the step, that reactivity towards SN1 reaction, and that will be reversed in the condition of SN2, methyl, then 1 degree carbon, then 2 degree carbon, and in the last there is 3 degree carbon. Always whenever there is low density of electron at the carbon center, whenever there is low branching at the carbon center, the nucleophile easily can attack in SN2 reaction. But in SN1, there is formation of intermediate, that is carbocation, and for that there must be a more branching at the carbon center that will increase the stability of the carbocation due to hyperconjugation. If you can say that the benzene and arylic position. Benzene means benzylic position and arylic position. The carbon attached with halogen having double bond carbon in a conjugation, and in the same here also the CH2 having double bond conjugation system. Whenever molecules having conjugation system, the alternation of double bond, they actually involve in the resonance stabilization. Resonance stabilize the carbocation here in these two cases, and here the hyperconjugation stabilize the carbocations, and that is why the tertiary is more reactive towards SN1 to indicate that the stable carbocation formed and stabilized by hyperconjugation. Here the resonance stability will be takes place. But SN2, that is a single step reaction. So nucleophile attack in the same step. Nucleophile attack in the same step. So no need to stabilize the carbocation because no carbocation formed. So to prevent the steric hindrance, to prevent the repulsion, steric repulsion from the nucleophile side, there must be a low density at the carbon center, low branching at the carbon center to stabilize that transition state more quickly and more easily. This is the common basic difference. One more difference that should be here, that is the reactivity are also based on the number of halogen atoms or nature of halogen atoms attached with carbon atom which is going to participate in the nucleophilic reaction. That is always isoalkanes are always more reactivity towards SN1 as well as SN2 comparatively the other halogens because of the larger size and low bond dissociation enthalpy. That is the basic concept for the reactivity. If the bond can be easily break during the reaction, that will be easily form the carbocation that should be stabilized in the SN1, and for SN2 no need to carbocation. So that iodoalkane and that bromalkane always having a good tendency to participate in the nucleophilic reactions because of the low bond dissociation enthalpy. So whenever you are calling for the reactivity series, whenever you are calling for a reactivity trend, you have to follow these things for a different SN1 and SN2. Let's see how these reactions actually takes place. That is called mechanism. Class, look at the board here. Actually, if we are taking tertiary alkane, so in the first step, that is slow step, there is the formation of carbocation. There is a formation of carbocation. Look at the board. The tetrahedral sp3 hybridized carbon changed into the trigonal planar sp2 carbon, and due to the planarity, the empty orbitals can be from any of the side, the upside, the front side and the back side. So nucleophile can attack from any of the side. Nucleophile can attack from the front as well as back side. This is called a front attack and back attack. Students, learn here nucleophile because of the planar reason, because of the planarity. The three parts of the carbon are in a planar plane, and the empty orbitals out of the plane, the front of the nucleophile, and below the plane, the back of the nucleophile. So that nucleophile can attack from any other side because of equal possibility of the empty orbital, and this is the reason that there is a possibility. So there is two possibilities. A nucleophile can be bonded from side of the back or can be bonded the side of the front. The side of the back and the side of the front. If the nucleophile attack from front side and form a compound, a product that is called retention product. If the nucleophile attack from the back side, they form the product that is called inversion product. Always there is a change in the electronic configuration of the group. Change of the configuration of the group. Look at the possibility. If the reactants having some configuration like right rotation or left rotation, the light bending, the rotation of light, when light strikes with the haloalkanes, that should be a right rotatory called dextro rotation and left rotatory called levo rotation. So, if suppose the configuration of this reactant is dextro, let's suppose dextro indicated by D plus. If our product is a similar, if our product is similar rotation, so that is called retention product. We are having dextro reactants and the formation of product is also dextro, the right rotatory product, that is called retention product. Same way, if the product is the opposite of the reactants in the configuration, that is called inversion product. In SN1, you can see, in SN1, this is the first step. In SN1, the nucleophile having equal possibility to attack from both the sides, so there is equal formation of the inversion product and retention product, and the mixture of these two is called racemic mixture. The mixture of these two is called racemic mixture, students. So these two products are racemic product formed by SN1 reaction. You can see there is stable carbocation formed. And in the first step, which is slow step, because of the breakdown of bond, only one molecule of halogen is involved, that is called unimolecularity, redetermination step, formation of carbocation, planar structure, orbital empty out of the plane and below the plane. Nucleophile can attack from any of the side, that should be learned, that is the terminology. That term should be learned, and that will help you to attempt the numericals, attempt the questions from the board in term 1 as well as in the competitions. So look at the possibilities and learn it. Let's learn about the next one possibility. Let's learn about the next one possibility. Students, the next possibility is the possibility of the SN2. So for that, I'm going to take like CH3. Actually, problem is the methyl haloalkane. The methyl halide is unstable to form the carbocation because of no carbon attached to the carbon. So whenever there is a low density at the carbon center, because no carbon attached with the carbon, the group carbon, the nucleophile attack in the same step from the side of back. This is called the back attack of nucleophile. This is called the back attack of nucleophile. You can see the nucleophile attack from the back side. Why back side? Because in the side of front there is already an electronegative element attached. Nucleophile having already negative charge. So there will be a steric repulsion, an electronic repulsion between nucleophile and halogen. So this nucleophile must be attacked from the back side of back. Carbocation not formed because methyl carbocation is highly unstable. No hyperconjugation, but no resonance possibility. Because carbocations always stabilized by either hyperconjugation possibility, more number of carbons should be attached, or conjugation system that will stabilize by resonance possibility in benzylic and allylic position here. And these two show the SN1. So for SN2 there is no possibility, and that's why the reaction proceeds through a single concerned step. called transition state. Transition state actually indicates the formation of bond of nucleophile with carbon and breakdown of bond of halogen from the carbon simultaneously. It indicates there is simultaneously formation of nucleophile bond as well as breakdown of the bond. The structure is trigonal pyramidal, trigonal bipyramidal because of 5 different species attached at the time of transition state. This molecule cannot be isolated, isolate for existence. This is a concern and concentrated in the reaction during the reaction only. This transition state is only imaginary product that actually indicate the formation of nucleophile bond and breakdown of bond of halogen simultaneously, and hybridization is sp3d, the d orbital utilized by the halogen because carbon has no d orbital. So the sp3d hybridization with trigonal bipyramidal structure. Here after this transition state, the halogen atom left the carbon and there is a formation of inversion product only. In SN2, this state is called a slow state because of breakdown of the bond. In this step only, this step is contains breakdown of the bond. So having 2 different molecules called bimolecularity. So you can see the SN2, the nucleophile attack from the back side, 2 different molecules involved. Step is slow. This is called rate determination step. Bimolecular transition state indicate the simultaneously formation and breakdown of the bond, and the product is inversion because of the back attack of the nucleophile as in SN1 also. But in SN1 both type of products are formed. You can see, okay, this is the inversion product. If this is a dextrorotatory, this will be levo. If this is a levorotatory, this will be dextrorotation. This is all about the SN1 and SN2 mechanism. Now we have to learn some more examples from SN1 and SN2 mechanism, because we are having a different nucleophiles to indicate how they attach with how they displace the halogen from the haloalkanes. Let's discuss one by one the different nucleophiles here. Students, learn carefully. I am taking haloalkane. This haloalkane may be primary, secondary, tertiary, no matter. Can indicate SN1 or SN2. I am just going to only show the nucleophilic reaction. It may be SN1 or SN2 depending upon the classification, which type of haloalkane you are going to take. But look here. The nucleophile here, the nucleophile let's see the reagents and nucleophiles of the molecules that will involve in the different bonding. Look at the possibility. I am going to write here reagent. Look at the possibility. Actually, students, reagents like potassium hydroxide or sodium hydroxide in aqueous medium, alcohols, water, sodium or potassium nitrite, silver nitrite, sodium, cyanide or potassium cyanide, silver cyanide, Grignard reagent, one of the important reagent what we have made, Grignard reagent, and the last lithium aluminum hydride. I think it is not visible, so I'm just going right here. Lithium aluminum hydride. At least this much reagents you have to be learned that involved in the nucleophilic reactions quickly with the halogenes. Lithium aluminum hydride, potassium hydroxide or sodium hydroxide, and so on. You can see. Let's discuss about how they involve in the reaction, because these are the reagents. They will produce nucleophiles. Actually, whenever the ionic bonds are there, ionic bond, they dissociate easily in the solution and they form a nucleophilic ions. Like there will be OH minus, there will be OH minus. Nucleophile will be OH minus. In alcohol, there will be RO minus. The dissociation of hydrogen. Water doesn't dissociate, so the whole water will be nucleophile. Sodium and potassium nitride. Look at the possibility here. Look at the possibility. Actually, there is an ionic bond. There is an ionic bond. So, look at the possibility. Once again, very important, huh? Look at the structure. NO2 structure. NO2 structure. Actually, when there is sodium and potassium with nitrite NO2, you can see the structure is sodium. The structure is sodium and ONO. So the reagent will be here. Reagent will be ONO, and here will be minus. Nucleophilic attack. The nucleophilic attack will be oxygen. The nucleophilic center will be oxygen. This oxygen attack as a nucleophile. But when there is silver, HNO2, there is covalent bond, which is not dissociated in the solution. So the sodium will attack as a nucleophile. Sodium will attack. So sodium. The whole molecule involved as a nucleophile. Whole molecule. Here again, there will be cyanide. The carbon involved. The carbon involved in is here. In Grignard reagent, with respect to magnesium, the carbon chain having a negative charge, which is act like a nucleophile, and in the lithium aluminum hydride, the hydrogen having negative charge called hydride. Look at the possibility now. Whenever we are having different reagents, they produce different nucleophiles. The problem is, generally we are knowing what the nucleophile is. Now how they evolve. How they evolve? We are having the process. But the problem is, sometimes we are not knowing how they evolve. Like in the silver, there is a covalent bond, so nitrogen will attack as a nucleophile. There is a charge on oxygen, when oxygen attack as a nucleophile. As a nucleophile. In the case of silver Ag, the nitrogen attack as a nucleophile, and sodium cyanide, the carbon attack as a nucleophile. If the one nucleophile having two different atoms, that can act like a nucleophilic center, they are called ambident nucleophile. What they call? Ambident nucleophile. So you can see the NO2. In NO2, oxygen as well as nitrogen and cyanide, carbon as well as nitrogen can act like a nucleophile. So they are called the example of ambident nucleophile. Ambident nucleophile. And that is the possibility how they actually involve in the process. How they involve in the process of the chemical reactions. Look at the reactions here. Look at the reactions here. I am going to just erase it. You can note down. Look how they make a bond. Look how they make a bond actually. They make a bond. Suppose we are having RX, and I am taking here a silver nitride AgNO2. So in AgNO2 there is a silver bonded with oxygen covalently. So the reaction will be R NO2, but if I am taking sodium nitride, there will bond R1. So look at the possibility how they going to make a bond. Nucleophile is NO2, but in NO2, nitrogen as well as oxygen can make a bond with that carbon center because of the tendency of the ionic and covalent bond. So here we are having a nitroalkane. Here nitrito. What is the name? Nitritoalkane. The same way in the case of cyanide. If you are having potassium cyanide and if you are having silver cyanide, there is a possibility. The possibility has been changed. RCN and RNC. This is called isocyanide. This is called cyanide. Because here there is a covalent bond between silver and carbon. So carbon doesn't participate in the bonding. Nitrogen attack as a nucleophile because of having lone pair. In here carbon having negative charge, so carbon must be bonded with the carbon center to form a cyanide. Same way, lithium aluminum hydride, you can see lithium aluminum hydride. This molecule release 4 hydrides. How many? 4 hydrides. So 4 molecules of haloalkane can participate in the bonding. And there is hydrocarbon formed, that is called alkane. Hydrocarbon formed, that is called alkane. So alkane formed along with lithium halide, aluminum halide, but alkane formed. This is called reduction reaction, and lithium aluminum hydride is strong reducing agent. If you are having Grignard reagent RMGX, this is a very interesting. There is a formation of magnesium halide along hydrocarbon formed with the equal number ascending number of carbon. Ascending number of carbon. The carbon numbers are ascend. We can increase the number of carbon center. We can increase the number of carbon in the chain. So these are some examples how they involve in the bonding. Because here you can see there will be OH. Here will be OR, ether will form, alcohol form, ether will form, again alcohol will form, nitrito. These are some examples involved in the nucleophilic reactions from the NCERT, and that is very important to be learned because many of the MCQ will be based on these different examples. Students, make a note on this topic. We will discuss some more topic in the next lecture. Thank you.